Because I will say, Riddler, he has a very high body count by the end of the movie. I was like, whoa. I mean, it's like, even Heath Ledger's Joker's like, that's not bad. That's pretty good. But now, we have to get to the piece de resistance, shall we? Got to talk about The Batman, my non-spoiler review for The Batman, chat. All right? A lot of people have been anticipating, a lot of people have been excited about this movie for the past 2 years now, really. This is supposed to come out in 2021. It's supposed to come out in October of 2021, chat, on my birthday. October 1st, 2021. I was like, ooh, nice little gift and present for me. So this is a nice little belated birthday gift for myself, chat. And I like that. Nick, thank you so much for resubscribing. 17 months of incredible support. An absolute pleasure to have you here, Nick. Welcome, welcome. But yes, chat, The Batman, which everyone has been looking forward to in some capacity for quite some time. 2 years, chat. You know, a little controversial because they cast Matt Reeves, of course, directed, famous for directing a number of great movies, but most recently the Apes films, at least 2 of them, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Lambs, which I both really like. Also did the original Cloverfield, also did Let Me In, which is a remake of Let the Right One, which I actually like them both quite a bit. I don't even know which I like more. They're just kind of like on equal footing, in my personal opinion. But Matt Reeves, obviously a great filmmaker. You know, the cast Robert Pattinson, chat, which, you know, yeah, still to this day, people are still holding his Twilight films over him. He's a well-accomplished actor, chat. He's been, again, check out Good Time. Check out The Lighthouse, chat. He's done other great work as well. Lost City of Zed, I thought was quite good. He did a really good job in the movie. There's a lot of films that he's been in that I think he showcased his talent, chat. And so when he was cast as Batman, I had no problem with this. I want to see what they're going to do with this. And then a number of other great actors cast in this film: Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, you know, Zoe Kravitz, etc., chat. But you're probably wondering, what are my overall thoughts for this film? You guys know I'm a Batman fan. You know, I've loved many of these adaptations, whether it be animated or live action or in video games, chat. What about this one? Well, first of all, I will say, at the top, chat, I think this is a very good Bat movie. I think this is a great Batman movie. And it's been a long time coming, chat, because this has been kind of a rough period, I would say, these last 10 or 15 so years for live action Batman adaptations. In my opinion, the last good, truly great Batman movie, where it was Batman, was The Dark Knight. Live action, that is. Live action Batman movie. That was the last great one. I was not a fan of Dark Knight Rises as time continues to go on. The less I like that movie. Not that it doesn't have some good things in there. It does. But overall, just kind of a letdown. Kind of letdown, especially what they had, what Christopher Nolan had established with Batman Begins and Dark Knight. It's like, really, that was the last thing? That was it? That was the big finale? Okay. And, you know, then Zack Snyder got a hold of him, and awful Batman v Superman, Justice League, and, you know, and he was featured in the Suicide Squad, and I felt sorry for Ben Affleck. Not against Ben Affleck being cast as Batman. I just think they just went about in a very weird way. Would have liked to have seen a standalone Batman film with him, or maybe an adaptation of Dark Knight Returns. You know, that would have been great, but we didn't get that, chap. You know, so it's been rough for live action Batman, I think, for quite some time. But it's like, ooh, this is going to be something new, and it is something new, and it's something that people have been asking for a very long time. I know I have, chat. So overall, I think it's a great Batman movie. And the thing that made me so happy to see, because throughout this film, this is not a superhero film at all. It's not. This is a detective noir thriller through and through. It's like your detective just happens to wear a cape and he throws fucking knives at people. He throws batarangs at people, chat. That's what he is. Like, it starts out being a dark, gritty mystery, and it ends that way. So yes, you're gonna get your car chases, you're gonna get your climactic act where Batman has to save the day along with all of his various allies. But for most of this movie, I love the fact that it's this slow burn detective story where Batman, Bruce Wayne, is trying to figure out the Riddler's trying to catch this new serial killer in Gotham City who's killing all these major political and seemingly corrupt figures that have been embedded in Gotham for years, if not decades. And he's trying to stop this person while also unearthing all this crime and corruption that has been rotting Gotham City for all this time, long before he was even born. And I love it. And the thing that really showcases that, not only through all these performances, which I want to get to, but the aesthetic of Gotham is fantastic. It's where, we've had different versions of Gotham over time, Chad. Like we famously had, the very gothic-looking Tim Burton Gotham, which I really love the aesthetic of those movies. We got the neon-infused Joel Schumacher era. We got the really kind of realistic Chicago-esque Batman, or Gotham, I would say. And whatever the fuck, Zack Snyder did, I can't remember. No, it just didn't stand out. But this one just feels, this Gotham, it feels violent. It feels like just urban decay is always on full display. It's always raining. It feels cold. I get the sense that everything smells like mildew or mold or rotten wood. I mean, you definitely have it kind of reminds me of the Batman Arkham video games in a way, where it's like, yeah, this is a city and has modern day stuff, but it's just, they've not been able to make any improvements for decades. And so these people are still living in these tenements. And even the rich, they have their areas, just where they live, everything just feels really old and looks like it's falling apart. And I love that. The aesthetic of Gotham is absolutely fantastic. It's really good. It reminded me of Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, because watching the film, I'm like, is this in the same world? It's not. I'm telling you right there, it's not in the same world, but it very much feels like that. Gotham is a character in this movie, along with all the rest of these people, Chad. So the aesthetic, I love what Matt Reeves is doing. Yeah, sure, it's you could say it's 70s or 80s New York. You can say it's something like Mean Streets, like Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets, or Taxi Driver. I really, really like that. So I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, how the film opens up. Another thing, too, I imagine we'll go into more detail if we do a spoiler review for this movie. But, Matt Reeves is wearing his influences on his sleeves, chat, totally throughout this movie. Yes, Seven. This is if David Fincher made a Batman movie. There's a lot of Seven in here. There's a lot of Zodiac in here. And then you have those Martin Scorsese influences coming in, too, like of Mean Streets and Taxi Driver and things. No doubt. But in terms of the Batman comics or graphic novels that he's taking from, lot from year one. Not saying that this is like a Batman origin story. This is very much a Batman who has already been Batman. He's in his second year. He's still trying to figure himself out, what he wants to be, what he needs to be. He's very mad, very angry. We'll get more to that in a bit. But I love how this movie opens up with Batman narrating. Batman is constantly narrating throughout the movie, talking about what he's done or what he sees in the city, his thoughts on it. And I thought that was really cool. And it was very much Batman year one, where it's most of the time it's either in the comic, it's either Batman doing the narration or it's Commissioner Gordon. Here it's just Batman, but I still really, really like that. It's very violent. You get the sense that there's all these roaming gangs throughout the city. I also kind of like, and they focus on this a little bit more as the film goes along. There is definitely a culture around filming violence and putting it online to get reactions. And I was like, well, we have that in this, and in our real world. And so I thought that was really cool. And I love how everyone is fucking, for the most part, people are terrified of Batman. Not just the criminals, chat. At least the ones of sense who know to be afraid of him. And this, how they shoot certain things, and it's they'll focus on a dark corner. It's is he there? Is he behind that door? Is he in that dark alleyway? And people I love it. They freak themselves out. Because they psych themselves out. Batman might not even be in the air. He might be 20 miles away. But they are so scared of him that when a can suddenly goes down, like a spray can goes down alleyways enveloped by shadow, fuck that. I ain't going for that can. I love that. And that's the opening of the movie, really. And then I think, and it's very violent. This is not a movie for children. This is the darkest. This is the most violent. This is the most disturbing Batman movie. I don't think kids should see this. I mean, it's a movie that is literally, it's PG-13, but man, if they decide to make this R, which they probably could have. I'd be like, yeah, I understand it. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of implied violence. There is body horror in this, implied body horror. There's dismemberment. I mean, what the Riddler is doing and how he's very much Jigsaw in this film, which I like. So I don't think you should take kids to see this film. This is not like, even The Dark Knight, which is also a very dark movie. This is darker than The Dark Knight. Not saying it's better, just saying it's a darker, more disturbing film. And then the movie is like the theme. It's whether vengeance is the answer to what's happening in Gotham. Because that's what, Robert Pattinson says Batman. Just kind of leading into my opinion on a lot of the characters and the performances in the movie. But that's the main theme, is if vengeance is the answer to everything that's happening in Gotham City. Batman's all about vengeance. He literally says, like, when he doesn't say, like, I'm Batman. He says, I'm vengeance. People call him vengeance, like, in this movie. And people are afraid of him. Like, that's the other thing I want to say. Even citizens that he helps, that he saves, are like, fucking don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. He's like, I'm not going to hurt you. He just looks at him. He doesn't care. And I really, really like that. I thought that was cool. And then there's another thing that maybe you can go in this direction, that you can pursue this. But it's very much like, okay, are we going to go, is it about vengeance or is it about hope? And I like that. That's the movie focused on. I like where we ended up at the end of the film. In terms of performances, which I know it's a bit I guess, again, Robert Pattinson, controversial pick for that, whatever. He's great. I think as Batman, he is Batman. He's not Bruce Wayne in this film at all. So if you are going in there to see the billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne, who has this facade and who's schmoozing with the Gotham elite and has a lady under each arm and he's grabbing ass and shit, that's not here. This Robert Pattinson's Batman, he is Batman always, even when he's out of the costume, which most of the time he's in the costume. There's scenes when he's out of it, but for the most part, he's in costume, which is like, that's kind of unique to see. I kind of appreciate that. Usually, I think when you think of a Batman movie, most of the time it's like, man, is Batman even in costume? Like, is Batman in costume more, or is he out of costume more? And so this one, he's mostly in the costume, which I thought was really cool. 24/7. He's mad. He's miserable. He's psychologically damaged. He's resentful. Like this is not a healthy person, like at all. Even though he's very much a genius, and he is a detective. He's haphazard. He's messy. He doesn't take care of himself. Like, he has to rely on, Alfred to do just like to make sure that his life is being run, to make sure that he's even fucking eating, to make sure that he's taking care of the necessary things for Wayne Enterprises. And I like that. He's just not healthy. And people saying emo Batman, I guess if you want to say emo, I think there's a negative connotation to that when you say emo, but I really like this version. And not to say that he's this version throughout the entire movie. I think a lot of people are just getting on it because he's like this for most of it, but there's some interesting things they do with him towards the end, which I like. But I really like Robert Pattinson in this role, and how, he's kind of almost, even though he's also just constantly questioning himself. He doesn't even know, like, am I doing this? This is the right way to go about things. It doesn't feel like, because you always get his narration. He keeps journals, and he's like, I don't even know if what I'm doing is helping, because crime's going up the more I do stuff. So I really like that. Then we have Andy Serkis as Alfred, and I think he does a good job. He's not on screen a lot. This is very much kind of like the Batman Earth 1 Alfred, where he's ex-MI6. He's clearly trained Bruce. He's got a bit of a limp based on when he was in the, the Secret Service and things, and I like that. There's a couple of there's one particularly great moment between Robert Pattinson and Alfred in this movie. It's towards the last act of the film, and I really like that. Most of the time, he's not on screen, which I'm hoping that they'll feature him more in the various sequels, if we get sequels, Jeff. But he does a good job. He does a good job for what he's given. I just wanted more of him, because this is not really focused on the relationship between Batman and Alfred. If anything, this is more focused on Batman and his relationship with Jim Gordon. But Jeffrey Wright fucking kills it. He knocks it out of the park, Chad. I just love it because he's clearly been working with Batman for well over a year at this point, and he doesn't even call him Batman. He just calls him man. Like, there's great moments in the movie. He's like, Jesus Christ, man, what are you doing? It's like, man, I ain't going in there. Like, I really love the rapport between Jeffrey Wright's Commissioner Gordon and Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like, they're partners. Commissioner Gordon might as well be his Robin in this film. I just love how they work together, how they're solving all these mysteries, how they're working through all these revelations throughout the film. He is really good in the film. I can't wait to see more of him in the sequels. Yeah, he's great. He is super, super good. Oh yeah, no, good point, Jack on a Kid. Yes, Robert Pattinson's Batman voice, very good Batman voice. In terms of like live action Batman voices, it's kind of similar to maybe like Michael Keaton's. You know, he doesn't have a "Where's the trigger? You never give it to an ordinary." It's not a Batman. It's not a Christian Bale just like yelling. It's not the modulated thing that Ben Affleck has. He just talks like this. And it's just very low. It's kind of whispery. It's Michael Keaton-esque. And I think that works for him. He doesn't have to fucking talk to you to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just like his presence, like Jesus. And when he does talk to you, that's the thing. You got to lean in. He goes, bah, and he punches you, bat punch, and he bat punches you, chap. Bat punches you. Agree 100%. Yeah, about the relationship, very much so, very much so. Jeffrey was a better Gordon than J.K. Simmons. Yeah, the thing is with J.K. Simmons, like I don't even hate on J.K. Simmons. It's just like he didn't get anything to do. I mean, he's gonna get more to do in the Batgirl movie. Apparently, because, you know, that's his daughter. So I'm interested to see what they do. But yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey Wright gets a lot of screen time. He gets a lot of screen time in this film. This is, I mean, I already really like the relationship between Christian Bale's Batman and Gary Oldman's Commissioner Gordon in the Dark Knight trilogy. That was really cool. I loved it. You know, even in the third one, even in Dark Knight Rises, I thought, hey, at least they got a lot of cool stuff for Gordon to do. But here it's like, wow, you really just doubled on that. You're like, no, I want to focus on it even more. At least I feel like that's what Matt Reeves wanted to do. Hamburg, you like Christian Bale's Batman voice? To each their own. 16-bit. Oh, thank you, 16-bit. Appreciate that. David Fan. I like this take from what I'm hearing. Batman has just consumed Bruce's life. Yes, he is Batman 24/7. There is no Bruce Wayne, which I guess some people have a problem with. I can't go into spoilers, but you're going to get that. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get that Bruce Wayne facade in the sequel. I mean, they're setting that up. This is just, again, they're not doing the origin story like the parents and their deaths and the trauma. That's always on his mind. That's there. But they don't show you a fucking smoking gun. You don't see the pearls. They don't do anything like that. You know, they incorporate the death of the Waynes into the stories. They do something cool with the history of the Waynes. I'm like, I like this a lot. Makes it more interesting. But they don't regurgitate the origin again because I'm fucking sick of it. I never want to see Batman's parents die on screen, ever. Just like I never want to see Uncle Ben get shot. I don't need that. Like in Spider-Man movies. I like the voice modulator. Hope they go with that in the future if the actors can't do the rougher voice naturally. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the modulator, to be honest with you. I just like what Pattinson's doing. It's very Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton didn't strain himself to do the voice, and Robert Pattinson's doing the same thing. It's intimidating. It's kind of like scary, and it works for me. Good to have you. This is the best part of the movie to me, not a clip, but I'll take from another movie that applies to the Batman. Oh, okay, well, check it out, chat. Check that out. Let's see here. I'm going to talk about like the Riddler and all these other characters going down the list, but Batman, Robert Pattinson, Bruce Wayne, really good. Alfred with Andy Serkis, very good. Just not enough screen time. Want to see more of him. Jim Gordon, Jeffrey Wright, excellent. And then we have Catwoman, Selena Kyle, who's kind of like under Gordon in terms of screen time. And this is just refreshing to see a Catwoman who is stealing things. In movies, I like this. Yes, Michelle Pfeiffer, an iconic look, an iconic performance, very out there, heavily leaning into the cat puns and cat jokes and stuff. And, I'm Catwoman, hear me roar. This is not what Zoe Kravitz's Selena Kyle is doing. How she is incorporating the story makes absolute sense. Her arc and who she mostly deals with in this movie is great. Takes a lot from year one again. I mean, if you look at Batman year one, if you look at Selena Kyle's design in year one, that's what Zoe Kravitz is. She's not a prostitute. She's more like a girl that works at the Iceberg Lounge. Like, it all makes sense. Like, everyone, how they all get involved, it doesn't feel like random or anything. Like, it just feels thoroughly lived in. And this is what she's doing and how she's involved with like Carmine Falcone and Penguin, how that she runs across Batman. All that really feels natural. You totally buy her motivation for what she's doing in regards to a friend who is in trouble and how she gets in league with Batman and how she's trying to, work these angles where she's not a bad person. She's just been so like Bruce has, just so abused throughout her entire life, and she's not amoral. Like, in the comics, Catwoman has kind of been amoral, where she's like, I'm just kind of for myself, I'm for the thievery, and I'll fuck Batman on the side, but I'm still for myself. This is very much a moralistic Catwoman, and I like that. No cat powers. She does not have cat powers. Nothing like that. She's well trained. She has an athletic build. She kicks ass. And at first you're like, how is this little girl going to be able to beat? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. And then you see it. And then she sees it and she sells it. She sells the scenes. She's great in the action. Has great rapport with Robert Pattinson. I like their chemistry. I mean, when these two meet each other, you can tell they just want to fuck each other. They're like, ugh, they just can't help it. They have that, just that magnetism. So she does a really good job in the film. She does a really good job in the film. And then shall we get to more of the villains, if you will? Because I don't. Catwoman's not a villain. She's a hero in this movie. Definitely is, like, I'm willing to kill people to get what I want and to protect who I need to protect. But she's very much, she's a cutie patootie, indeed. Yeah, she boxes like a she definitely she incorporate like her fight style. She does a lot of boxing, a lot of kicking, a lot of high kicks, using them thick thighs, Chad, and it works. She puts a lot of effort in them thick thighs. But then we get more to the villains, and we have Colin Farrell as Penguin, which again we saw the makeup. The makeup, for any of you that was worried about Colin Farrell's makeup, like, whoa, it looks great in a still image in a couple of clips, but how is it throughout the movie? Impeccable. It looks real. It looks absolutely real. Everything from like the scarring on his face to like his fucked up teeth in some parts. He got like fake, like metallic teeth or something. Really good. He is so charismatic, and I love chat. I'm like, oh, they did it. One of my favorite things about the third season of Batman the Animated Series was that Penguin was like, well, I'm not going to, one, he's not a fucking mutant anymore, which was really great, but he's just kind of like a quote-unquote legitimate businessman who runs a nightclub and things, but he does shitty things on the side, and he's also an informant to Batman. Like, that was kind of Penguin's function for most of that season, where Batman would come to him and say, what do you know about this? And Oswald Cobblepot would give him this information. That's what he is here. And I really, really like that. Like, Emil's like, oh, he fucking nailing it. Yes, he's not he's not like, I want to feel, well, he is kind of rapey. They did carry, so that aspect of Danny DeVito definitely carried over into this. I want to fill her void. We're going to blow the erogenous zone sky high, and just the pussy I was looking for. Little bit of that is in this character. Not as much, not as rapey as Danny DeVito, but a little bit. Chat. But no, he's not on screen as much, but when he is, it's like, wow, like the voice is great. He's really, a lot of the humor in the movie, it comes from him. He has, I don't want to spoil anything, but he has some great lines, and he even kind of, even kind of impresses Batman to a degree, which I thought was pretty funny. I really like what they did with him. There's some great stuff, and there's some jokes at his expense. There was a little bit of a waddle, that's all I'll say, but I thought it was great. Really love what they did with the Penguin. And then, chat, Penguin, and this is very much like a Penguin who has not found himself much the same way that Catwoman really hasn't found herself, or even Batman at this point. They're still figuring themselves out and what they want, what their desires are. But then we have the person that Penguin serves under, and that's Carmine Falcone, played by John Turturro. Every time John Turturro is on screen, amazing. He is fantastic as Carmine Falcone. He is charismatic, and he's really frightening. Again, he's kind of similar to Batman that way, where he has that kind of soft-spokenness, but like underneath that kind of soft voice, there is just such menace and rage and anger, and you're like, oh shit, this guy is dangerous. You get the sense he's really, really dangerous, and I like how he's connected to the history of some characters and how that comes to fruition. Is very, very satisfying. This is and again, it's very much that Long Halloween, Batman Year One, Carmine Falcone. And for those of you who have read those novels, you know what I'm talking about. And I really like what they do with him here. He's great. He's great. Every time he's on screen, it's like, oh, movie just went up even more. And after that, we get to the big villain of the movie, which of course is Paul Dano's Riddler. And this is not Jim Carrey's Riddler. This is not bummer, nothing like that. Although there is one holdover. There is one holdover in regards to Paul Dano's Riddler being related to Jim Carrey's Riddler. Is that, man, this guy wants to fuck Batman really bad. Like, he loves Batman. He's obsessed with him. Because that's the whole thing. That's the premise of the film. We see from the trailers is that, you know, he's not addressing the police. He's not addressing the politicians. He's addressing Batman constantly in this film. Always saying, writing his little cards, his little letters, delivering the Batman, and tasking him with solving these riddles. And he's trying to prove to Batman, it's like, nah, there's more to this, the political infrastructure and the corruption within Gotham City. I'm trying to show you, okay? We gotta work together. And I love it. His secret friend, his secret admirer. His fucking lover, chat. But yeah, that carried over. That horniness that Jim Carrey had for Val Kilmer's Batman, or I guess Bruce Wayne in this case, Paul Dano's Riddler wants to fuck Batman so bad. And he's number few. The thing is, again, Paul Dano, he's not on screen a lot. Like, a lot of what they do with him is through, you do see him commit his crimes, and it's very scary. It's very threatening. There's a lot of body horror. I mean, what he is, he's a combination of Jigsaw from the Saw series and John Doe from Seven. And he looks like the Zodiac killer from Zodiac. That's kind of his design. There is no fucking, bowler hat and, question mark suit. He has his own thing. He wears this kind of saran. It's very weird, but it makes sense for what he's doing. Chris Ayers, thank you to the 10 biddies. So many people are going to ask about this, so I might as well be the first. No Riddler well, you know what? Yes. there are Riddler trophies. Yes, they actually are. There are Riddler trophies. They're not like question mark trophies, but there are trophies. Yes, no, but they're much more disturbing than you think of. Look at those, Chris. Come on, there were scenes where I definitely saw some silliness from him that could have been from Jim Carrey's Riddler. He plays it mostly straight. No, I know you're referring to Luke, but that's how I'm gonna get into more my review of the character. But I'm just starting out like initially. But what was I saying? Yes. So yeah, very much Jigsaw in his methods. Very much John Doe. I think initially in his presentation, how he presents himself, and at least initially, and looking like the Zodiac killer. And he does have like question mark and things. He has like a little question mark. He likes to show that off. What I really liked about him, and never occurred to me, is like, how do a lot of these villains get their henchmen? How do they get their followers? And the Riddler is a streamer. The Riddler is this is kind of like, I felt like a critique on QAnon and these conspiracy people online, or these really talking. Don Tarlin, thank you so much for the 1,000 biddy donation. Don, because of your generosity, you get to pick an episode of a TV show for me to review sometime in the future. So go ahead and tell Chris Ayers what that will be, and I'll happily do it. But an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Don, for that generous donation. What was it? Well, oh shit, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying about Riddler? Where was I? But he looks at, he has that aesthetic. He has that. That's how he presents himself. He's a comedian. Thank you. Community. So that's why I think he's a streamer. He's a Twitch streamer. He's like those guys that online that get all these, weirdo fucking followers, these toxic people who are so unsatisfied with their lives. The only thing that they can get them off is hurting other people and taking down the system, if you will, quote unquote, no matter how high the body count is. And it's like, wow, that was really, he's a Twitch streamer. And man, and you'll know it too. There's some great, and that's the thing, where most of the time, like, Batman and Riddler don't really come across each other. Most of the time, Riddler is just sending videos to Batman, or he's talking to him via, like, phone. He's talking to him via Skype and stuff. And he's very intimidating. He's very weird and kind of spastic. Like, at first, he'll be, like, really calm, and he'll do his riddles, and he'll do his puzzles and things. But then he gets too excited. He gets a little too excited. He can't control himself. And as we get more into the film, chat, we do have like a Riddler-Batman confrontation. And again, because that's the thing about Edward Nygma, or Edward Nashton, or the Riddler. He's had many aliases throughout his entire life. But Riddler always likes to initially present himself as someone who is, above everyone. He's an egomaniac. He's a textbook narcissist. But if you can get under his skin, he will fucking flip out. And that's what happens in this movie, and I really like that, where most of the time he's pretty calm. He's pretty calm, and especially when there's that, you know, they have that conversation, and then Batman says something. He's like, and he fucking loses it, and then he becomes Jim Carrey for a little bit. But it also reveals how, and I like his backstory too. I really like what I was like, oh shit, and you know, learning why he's doing what he's doing, how he found out about it. Again, I don't want to get into spoilers, but I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. He is emotionally and psychologically stunted. He has the intelligence. He's a genius. He's incredibly intelligent, but he has the emotional complexity of a 7-year-old. That's what he is, where he throws fits, he throws temper tantrums, he can't just like stay still. And, you know, first he is staying still, and then afterwards he just can't. He doesn't like being told he's wrong. He doesn't like the word no, like a child. And then he has this infantile emotional response. And I really like that. And if I have a criticism, it's just I wish that we got more conversations between Paul Dano's The Riddler and Robert Pattinson's Batman. I wanted more, but it left me wanting. So I think in a way, well, at least I didn't like okay, I don't want more of this. It's like at least I want more of him in the future, and I really like what they do with him. And I love the whole social media movement that he inspires. That's how it makes sense. Like all these fucking crazies get all their henchmen and all their followers is because you have these people who want that crave that, who are so unsatisfied and are so emotionally disturbed that that's the only outlet they can find is other emotionally disturbed people. And then, that's kind of like most, and then there's other characters in the movies, like Peter Skarsgård's in this as well, plays the DA, he does a great job. Like, there's a lot of secondary and tertiary characters, like, there's not a single actor in this film that gives a bad performance. Everyone is great. Like, I can't think of any performance I'd like, this is bad. There's nothing, at least for me, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that in the movie. And the action, I think, is great. You know, Matt Reeves is not afraid to hold the camera back and let Batman do his thing. What was really cool, we haven't really seen this, like, typically Batman, when it comes to a lot of the fighting and a lot of the movies, is that he never feels like he's being pushed back by, like, the physical enemy. It looks like he's never getting his ass kicked, if you will. And in this movie, like, fucking Robert Pattinson, I mean, again, he's very strong, he's very intimidating, and he'll come out on top, but man, they put him to the fucking ringer. I mean, he gets hurt a lot in this movie, and you feel those punches. It's raw, it's brutal. I like the camera work and how they showcase the chap, but like he gets shot, like he can't dodge bullets. You know, I know in the movies you see Batman just dodging bullets easily and shit. It's like, no, he needs this armor. He's like a walking tank, and like people are just shooting at him. And he takes some fucking shotgun blast shit. It knocks the fuck out of him. It knocks the wind out of him. He's like, like there's a scene literally when he's like, he can't breathe because of the force that it took. And he needs help. He needs help. He can't do it alone, which I really like. And then the chase scene I thought was really good. You know, people are always going to compare these to Nolan films, and I'd be like, yeah, let me compare them. You know, but it's good. It's up there with like the Tumbler in Batman Begins, that initial chase sequence when he's running from the police, and the one with the semi truck in The Dark Knight. Like this is definitely a really good chase sequence. I like it. It's up there in my opinion. Naya Brownie, kiss from a rumbling grain. Good to see you, Naya Brownie. We're talking nerd stuff. Are you making fun of me? Are you making fun of me right now? I might have missed your comment, but I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I hope the schools are going good. I don't know. And then we'll get to the part of the movie where I know this has been a big criticism for a lot of people. Thank you. Or not a big criticism, but it's certainly a critique. Who's that with a very kind follow? Who's coming in there? The Master Collector 98. Thank you for the follow. You're my new Huckleberry. Welcome to stream. I'm sorry. That ad pop up right there. I'm not new. My old account I got locked out of, so I made a new one. Fuck. Oh, no problem. I'm sorry, Master. Oh, the Master Collector. Okay, I was gonna say, like, I thought we already followed. I'm sorry about that, man. I hope you're able to solve that. But no, pleasure to have you here. Pleasure to have just doing my Batman review. I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this movie. I'm just kind of doing my initial thing. Actually, we're about to do a wrap up. I wanted to get to the one part of the movie where I think some people are going to have an issue with it. And that part being the pacing. Now, the thing is, this movie, chap, according to Wikipedia, 2 hours, 53 minutes. And it's about 2 hours, I guess, I would say, in 45 minutes, 46 minutes, something like that. 3 hours. It's a 3-hour movie. And I have to admit, I really didn't feel the length for the most part. I thought it moved very well. Maybe just because I was just so into it and what was going on, and I just really loved the detective aspect, and I was digging that, and how they're just like, there's a lot of time spent on these characters just talking to each other, and just, you know, and the relationships and how they're changing and shifting. I thought that was really cool. I like the mystery. Like, how is all this stuff connected? But I don't think it's going to work for everybody. I do think you probably could have shaved, I don't know where, but you could have probably shaved 20 minutes off this movie. You could have made it 2.5 hours, and I think you would have had a pretty good film right there. Like, you know, that's the nice running time. Like, you need to have a really good excuse to be 3 hours. You know, those kind of movies are few and far between. But if they have shaved out 15, 20 minutes, I think it would have been even better. Would have been better. But again, I really didn't feel the length. But if anyone did, they probably could have cut a little bit out of this film. And the one thing I will say, though, is because this movie is so dark and it's so disturbing, I think you're going to get some people just not going to like that. There is humor in the film. You know, I disagree with some people saying there's no humor. There is humor. There's humorous moments between characters. I don't know if Batman's very humorous. No. He's very morbid, but I think that's intentional. But you do get humor from characters like the Penguin, or like Senator Kyle, or Commissioner Gordon, or hell, even the Riddler. Like that is in this film, but it's a very dark movie. There's body horror, and I just think that's going to turn some people off. I mean, it's very kind of like a horror film in some ways too. So this is going to be, I think it's going to be a divisive film because of those things. And maybe a little bit of a divisiveness in regards to the fact that Bruce Wayne's not, I mean, Batman has an arc. You could say Bruce has an arc, but you don't see that Bruce Wayne persona. That facade is not there at all. But they point that out. I think that's intentional. No darkness, no parents, money makes it better. I mean, kind of. It's kind of what it is. But yeah, you know, if you're willing to go in and open up your mind to like, okay, I'm going to see a dark, disturbing Batman. This is the darkest Batman movie ever. If you're opening up your mind to that, I think you're going to have a really fun time with this. I think you're going to really enjoy it and the craft of it. Couple of quibbles, couple of minor problems, I think, overall. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I even started to lower my expectations. I knew some people weren't liking it. I was like, okay, I'm going to kind of go. And I walked out even more impressed. So yeah, it's a full price, Chad. Maybe even a high full price for me on the double toasted. And the score. Oh, I forgot to say. Steve, good to see you, Steve. This shit was amazing. Hello, so happy to have you here. I will say this: Michael Giacchino's score. Oh, so fucking good. And the lighting. Yeah, I mean, I talked about the aesthetic, but yeah, the lighting in the movie, fantastic. I love how they lit this movie, and the Michael Giacchino score, how it's used. Oh, really cool, really good. And there's some beautiful cinematography in this movie. There's some stuff at the end of the film that I got emotional watching. Like, for those who are saying that it's morbid, and Robert Pattinson's Batman, he's just so disturbed, and there's no hope plays a role in this film. And there are like 2 shots at the end of the movie. It's like the last 10 minutes of the film. It's after like this big action sequence, and all I'll say is there is a torch. There is a torch Batman's holding, and I thought, that was beautiful. And then something on a rooftop of a lot of people. And I thought that was beautiful too. I thought, yeah, it's fucking Batman. That's Batman. Matt Reeves understands Batman. Robert Pattinson understands Batman. And I don't want, I mean, the people are still holding the fucking Twilight movies over him. It's just stop it. Get over it. Get over it. He's the goddamn Batman, chat. Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great. Thought it was great. Full price, high full price right now, chat. In terms of live action Batman adaptations right now, I mean, what my rankings would, I mean, you know, it can go back and forth, but I think this is in the top 3 at least. You know, Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and The Batman. I think those are all in the top 3 right now for me, personally. That was very, very good movie. Very good movie, Joe. Yeah, so what about you guys? What about you guys? I am curious. I'm curious. What are your overall opinions? Do you disagree with in that order? I don't know if even that. I mean, maybe it's I like it more than Batman Begins. Like Batman Begins. If I have like a criticism of I mean, you know, it's hard. It's really hard because Batman Begins is really really good. Because I would also give like Batman Begins like a high full price, and Dark Knight that's better than Sex for me. I thought everything worked about that movie. I thought that was better. I thought that had better pacing too, even though it has like a fourth act that has better pacing. So, but again, they're all kind of on top of each other. They're all really good. They're all really good. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they're all around there. But I would say Dark Knight's still better, but it's still great. Listen, we haven't had a good, in my opinion, we haven't had a good live action Batman film in 15 goddamn years. So I'll take it. But what do you guys say? What are you thinking? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Difference opinion. Really should have been Anarchy or Calendar Man. For you, Check, man, I kind of like this take on the Riddler for me, but I wouldn't mind those characters to appear in this world. I'll tell you this, chat. I'll tell you this. It sets. They set up something. They set up a couple of things. They set up one thing, and how they set up, it's like, all right. I mean, not that it's bad. Not that it's bad. It's just. I would like to see other characters in the future. That's all I'll say. If you kind of know what I'm implying, you know what I'm implying. They do set something up, and it's like, all right. But the other larger overarching thing they're setting up is like, what the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna fucking do about all of this? Because I will say, Riddler, he has a very high body count by the end of the movie. I was like, whoa. I mean, it's like, even Heath Ledger's Joker's like, that's not bad. That's pretty good. His motivations felt more akin to Anarchy to me, especially with the stream angle. I mean, I suppose so. I think the reason why they went with Riddler is because he's just more well-known than a character like Anarchy. Not that they couldn't do Anarchy in the future, but, you know, they just went with someone who's more recognizable, I would say. But, you know, a Luke Bob's full-price film, that Arkham scene had me like, really? But maybe they'll just say, yeah, I don't want to say what that is, but not that it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just like, okay, I'd rather you do something a little different. Not that that's okay, that thing is there. We can have that. Maybe use it in a different way in the future, right? I want to see other things in this world. That's all I'll say. Osnick, high full price, low, better than Seth Rosnick. They combine characters all the time, makes sense. Yeah, also, I mean, this Riddler is very much also inspired by Hush. Tommy Elliott Hush, too. Like, in terms of design, you can say. And maybe even motivation. But I don't want to say too much on that. I know what Chris is talking about. Just hope do something second film. Just say villain. Chris is talking about. Yeah. I mean, they can even have that character in the next movie, but use him in the same way that they used Penguin or Catwoman or something like that. Use that because there's one thing. Oh, one thing I should have said. There are a lot of characters in the movie. There's a lot of villains. I mean, Riddler, Penguin, Carmine Falcone. I mean, you can even say, I don't know, the Catwoman's not really a villain, but you could say as another Batman character, very well balanced, which is, usually when you have more villains, you fuck it up, easier to fuck up. Chris Harris, see him Monday or Tuesday, can't wait. Nice win, Fox. I want Court of Owls for second. Same, I would like Court of Owls as well. If you are a justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye? Yeah, I don't want to do it. I just don't even say what the spoiler is. I don't even want to do that for people. The film is solid, though. I'm looking forward to the sequel. Same. Oh, yeah. They set up a lot. So I was like, cool. These always sides when it comes to solo films. Certainly this one. Ice Dude, I could agree rather than do like Azrael or Firefly. We know we're getting Firefly for the Batgirl with Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser's playing Firefly. Reeves said he would like to do something with Mr. Freeze. I mean, after seeing this movie, they could do it. They could do it. This is definitely the most grounded Batman, but there's some sci-fi tech in here. That's like, what the? Okay, that's I don't think that exists. But I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I went away with it. Like, I could see Mr. Freeze in this world. I think that'd be fine. They might get more exaggerated to go along. As I've said before, Court of Owls. I would love to see Court of Owls in these movies. It actually makes sense. I almost, it will make sense for this Gotham. And I would love to have Mad Hatter. I don't know if they'll ever do Mad Hatter because he's a pedophile. I don't know if they could do that. I mean, it might be too dark. They're like, we can't do that, but that's what I would like. That's what I would want. That's me. Black Mask would make a lot of sense. I would love to see Roman Sionis in this. Black Mask, Deathstroke, you want more physical threat? Sure. I love the film and Casey, I love the film, looking forward to the new Batman projects they have for the future. Vaughn the Stampede, thank you for the alert. Pleasure being here. Maybe sci-fi tech of Doom is free. Yeah, I mean, there's sci-fi tech in this movie too. It's not in the trailers, but it's there. The movie's like, oh, okay. They can make, I think they can do Mr. Freeze. Will Matt Reeves use the Phantasm? I mean, they could. I don't see why not. Mad Hatter's your pick too, Austin? Yeah. I would like Mad Hatter and Cordovalis in the next movie, but that's just me. I only saw one thing in particular that had me like, nah, it's too sci-fi this world. Yeah, that didn't bother me. I was like, okay. I was taken aback by it at first, but then how I liked how it was just used and how it looked. Like visually, there's some really cool stuff that they do with Batman sci-fi tech in this movie, and I just like how it kind of functions. So, but to each their own. Ventriloquist, they could do ventriloquists in this world. Mad Hatter's a pedophile. Yeah, oh yeah, man, he loves them. Go Alice, sweet Alice. Chris, what if Matt Reeves makes Zaz like Buffalo Bill? They could do that. They could definitely do a Zaz Buffalo Bill. Baby GTG, thank you so much for subscribing. 10 months of incredible support. What's up? I'm doing well, man. What's up with you? Calendar Man. They could do Calendar Man if they wanted to. They could definitely do Calendar Man. Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange would fit in this world. Yeah, I think Arkham's in this movie. There's something interesting that they do with Arkham that I was like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. And I think Arkham will most likely play a bigger role in the sequel. But it's in this movie, and they set something up. They set up several things in regards to Arkham Asylum that I was like, ooh, that'll be fun. Now, Kira, think to me is Matt Reeves better make his Mr. Freeze puny after the quality of those riddles. Also, Matter is at least canon to these few things to James Gunn. Well, this is not connected to, as far as I know, it's not connected to that universe, unless they're, because Michael Keaton's going to be the Batman of the DCEU now. They're getting rid of Ben Affleck and they're putting Michael Keaton in there. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Condiment King, hell yeah, we need Condiment King, 100%. Kite Man, yes. Baby G, did I miss a review? Yeah, but I'm asking people their opinions on it right now. I'm just going down the line. Devin wants Scarface, Ventriloquist, and Batman 2. I'm wanting Arkham movie beyond. I think Arkham will play a bigger role in the sequel. It's here. It's in this movie. We do go to it, but I think it's going to play a large role in the sequel. And you can have Hugo Strange there. That makes sense. Matt Reeves announced Arkham Asylum HBO Max series. We might see. Oh shit! Well, I know there's 2 shows. I thought they're doing a Penguin series and a GCPD series, Gotham Central. So now they're doing an Arkham Asylum series. Well, there you go. That's how they set up the villains then. Oh, punny! You're saying punny, full of puns. Gotcha. Affleck needs to rest. Yeah, I mean, it's not his fault what happened. I feel bad for him. Also, Killer Croc needs his BET. Ben Affleck's Batman movie was going to be an Arkham-based movie with Deathstroke. Yeah, I remember that. Would have been cool to see. Again, I just hated Batman v Superman was such an awful film that I just had such a distaste for. I don't even want to see this. Yeah. But I like the idea. I like the idea of a Batman movie taking place like just at Arkham. I think that's really fucking cool. But I just didn't. I don't know. Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke. I was just like, I don't know. Yes, I had no excitement for that film. Yeah. Now it's 3 shows. They got 3 shows. Wow. Well, cool. Well, if it's gonna be of the same quality, I'm okay with Maxie Zeus. Yeah, let's do Maxie Zeus. Guy thinks he's a fucking god. Can be nice. Snyder Cut was better for what? For Justice League? Sure. Way too long. That's a movie that's like, this does not need to be 4.5 hours long. But still was, it was what it was. It was better, but I wouldn't say it was a good Justice League movie. That's just me. I hope they get more Alfred. That's one thing. Like, again, Andy Serkis was good as Alfred, but he's not in it a lot. There's finally to the slow point at work chat. Now I have to watch the drunks. Oh, shit. Be careful, Trailblazers. Be careful. Isn't Deathstroke more of a Teen Titans villain? I think he's kind of like just a general DC villain. He's fought so many people over time. Affleck's Batman, just not the stuff around him. Fair. No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Ben Affleck could have made a great Batman. I mean, I don't want to get into the weeds here. I've talked about this before. I wasn't a fan of the suit. Wasn't really a fan of his voice. I felt like you definitely could have done a really good Batman movie with Ben Affleck. I think you could have. I think if they actually did a Dark Knight Returns adaptation, I think that would have been great with him. I really do. It's just, I mean, Snyder fucked him so bad in the beginning. That's my opinion. So the Batman earlier, I fucking love it, says Emily. Good to have you here, Emily. Nice. I loved it a lot, too. That was great. Matt Reeves decides to use Joker. Do you think they goes bring Harley? Just see why not. I think that could work. King Kodiak, I'm sorry. There's always the VOD. Is Grandma Goodness a Batman villain? That's a Superman villain. Granny Goodness is a Superman villain. She's always with Darkseid. That's like one of his acolytes. So the Batman last night, Baby GG, and no spoilers. That was the shit. So okay, this is my wife. Robert Pattinson killed it as Batman. I love the detective aspect. All in all, I'd give this movie a high full price. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like full price, high full price right now. Let's do the non-spoiler review so far. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. They bring in an Arkham film. They could. Yeah. Fuck it. I'm just gonna share it here. You can see Zoe's nipples in the movie. I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, there's a lot of girls in scantily. I mean, the Iceberg Lounge chat. There's a lot of women in scantily clad clothing and stuff. Baby G, I'm planning on seeing it again this weekend. It might become better than Sex for me. I mean, that's the film that I think even if you didn't like it at first, let it sit with you. It's definitely a movie that I think maybe you'll even like even more. It's a lot of movie to unpack. Affleck would be great in a long Halloween adaptation, sure. I think Ben Affleck would have made a great Batman in a film that wasn't directed by Zack Snyder and didn't have the influence of Snyder on him. That's what I think. Do you think this will be your favorite superhero movie of the year? I mean, year's not over yet. I mean, there's a lot of superhero movies that are coming out, so I want to give them all a shot. We have Doctor Strange. They showed the trailer for Doctor Strange in theaters. And we have, what are the other movies? We got Doctor Strange. We have Thor, Love, and Thunder coming out. We have The Flash coming out. We have Aquaman 2. We have Black Adam. So there's quite a few, so we'll see. But it's good. It's good start in terms of superhero films for this new year for 2022. Like it ended on, I think 2021 ended on a strong note with Spider-Man: No Way Home. I think maybe some of the other films. I mean, Suicide Squad also was amazing that year too. But it's starting off very well, I would say. Has people been already greenlit? I don't know. I don't know if they have. I know they plan to. Well, I don't know if it's announced. I mean, I know Matt Reeves says he wants to do a trilogy, but I don't know what the status is of it. No, I don't know. I just don't know. I have no information in regards to that. Superman keeps getting fucked in movies. I would like to see Granny Goodness brought in alive. Yeah, I would like that too. I would love that too. I would love that. I want to see a good Superman movie. 100%. Nips. Do you think they'll cameo Pattinson's Batman and Flashpoint? Probably not. I don't think so. I think Matt Reeves he's kind of gotten to that point now where he's like, I get to do whatever I want. And I think they're going to let him, like, he said, I remember, I've seen, he's like, I do not want this crossing over of anything. And they should keep it that way. They should keep it that. I don't really want Robert Pattinson's Batman crossing over with, fucking Jason Momoa's Aquaman or something. I don't think it would work. You know what? Now that I think about Riddler's traps could have Riddler's traps could have been better. I mean, he's got some fucked up traps in the movie. I like the traps that he had in the film. I wasn't really bothered by them. I thought they were cool. I thought they were very freaky. If Affleck had started out with his own solo Batman movie directed by him, I bet it would. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Had Ben Affleck been the sole person who created the aesthetic of his Batman, how he directed it, how he written it, how it was him and his vision, if it was Ben Affleck's vision from the beginning, I'm sure he would have had a great Batman movie. I'm confident in saying we had a great Batman movie. It's just it got fucked because of Snyder's influence, in my opinion. I love the detective aspect of the film. I'm looking forward to what they bring in new Batman sequels. Also, I'm definitely going to watch it again this weekend. It may become a Better Than Sex in the future. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Lots and lots of superhero films indeed. Outside of Suicide Squad, what inspired would you like James Gunn to tackle? Oh man, that's a good question. That's a Class in the Glass cast question. Ask me tomorrow, new edition, about that. I just want him to do more D-list characters. I think like that seems to be where his love is. These characters that are not loved, he makes us love them. So, any of those D-list DC characters, I'm all for. I would love that from him. More of that. Yeah, all Super Pets. Yeah, I saw a trailer for Super Pets today. I was like, I'm not digging this. I did not like that at all. It reminded me of Life of Pets. I'm just like, I don't know. I love the parts of Batman doing the film noir narration. Same. Very much Batman Year One. That was really good. Yeah. Betty White would have been great, Granny Goodness. She would have been really fun. There's nothing wrong with keeping the Batman. And so, yeah, I'm at that point right now, Chaz. Like, I just want this to be its own thing. Kind of like how the Dark Knight trilogy was its own thing. Just keep this separate. Michael Keaton's coming back. He's going to be the Batman of the DCEU, and that's exciting. You know, let Ben Affleck's Batman retire. You know, it's a sad thing that it didn't work out. Again, it's not his fault in any capacity. It's not his fault. He went through a rough time, and he had bad people who were in control of those films, and yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with Michael Keaton in the Flash film, and he's in Batgirl now too. He's 70 years old, Chip. He looks fucking great, so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that, Chip. Any other trailers in the movie? I mean, Doctor Strange trailer, Super Pets. They showed the DC kind of mini previews of all the other movies that are coming out. Sonic. They showed the Sonic trailer. Oh, and they showed The Northman, which looks really, really good. Very excited with The Northman this year, chat. What's his name? Eggers. Daniel Eggers? What's his name? Daniel Eggers? Daniel Eggers. They did not show Bullet Train. We did react to Bullet Train. That was a really good trailer. I'm very much looking forward to that movie. Also, some film with Rocky, the Samaritan? Samaritan? Oh, the Samaritan? Oh. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The Samaritan. No. With Rocky? With Sylvester Stallone? Robert Eggers, that's it. Yeah. So, but yeah, overall, chat, I really like the Batman. I would give it a high full price territory right now. A few minor issues, nothing that really ruined my enjoyment of the film. Thought it was great. Thought it's great. Much like Batman Begins before it. It's a really good foundation movie, and it sets up a lot of cool things for the future. But also, just as a standalone film, I think it's quite good. And it gave me the live-action detective story featuring Batman that I've wanted forever. We finally got it. I thought they handled that very, very well. Very well, Chuck. But now, my friends, we got to go ahead, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Even though we could, we disagreed on some things, chat. I hope we had a fun conversation. Hope you see where I'm coming from. We're definitely going to be doing a spoiler review. I think, well, as far as I've been told, we're doing a spoiler review for The Batman on the Sunday service, chat, on Double Toasted. So, very much looking forward to that. There are several things I want to talk about. There are hints there's several other hints to. There's some stuff I even mentioned that, it's like, okay, is that what I think it is? Someone, all I'll say is, and this person might know, someone texted me earlier about, is that what I thought it is? And I'm like, maybe, or maybe it's this, but I don't know. They could be setting up a lot, Chad. That's all I'll say. That is all I'll say. Chad, you know what? This is actually a perfect time. This is actually a perfect time to do a commercial right now. Or not a commercial, sorry. I can show my clip compilations. I'm gonna take a quick break, check. Actually, I have to make a quick phone call about something. It's actually quite important. So, a Firewolf, welcome to the stream, and Colonel Useless, good to see you. I also really enjoyed that. Nice. What's the rate can I get the movie? I gave it like on the DTS scale. I gave it like a high full price. It's right around there, Very good. No, Firewolf, Colonel Useless, an absolute pleasure to have you here. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie as well, Firewolf. I'm going to be right back. I need to make a really quick phone call, but I should be returning shortly. And then I'll be doing my spoiler review, my scene breakdown chat for Yu Yu Hakusho episode 14. It's going to be fun.